Hey everybody, welcome to the Day Late Show. We managed to get it in this week. Actually,
we're on schedule.
We're on schedule, but you know, we're keeping it together. We got a lot to talk about, like usual. But it feels like, I don't know, like last week was a lot.
That was a lot
about. Like, how long was that one? That was
over an hour long.
Yeah, so we have a lot today, but we'll see.
But it'll probably be just a regular day.
Probably be what, half an hour?
Yeah, regular as usual. We're back on it.
But what's our first topic for today?
A French resort town banning burqinis, and a lot of people are getting mad about that.
Yeah.
So that's happening, and let's see. Well, in France, a resort town of Cannes has banned the wearing of full-body, head-covering swimsuits nicknamed burqinis. While the reason cited is one of security, many claim that this is merely an excuse to discriminate against Muslim women. The ban is in the aftermath of attacks in Nice and on a church in northwest France.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in France right now.
I mean,
a lot of bad stuff.
Especially when they use the word "an excuse to discriminate."
Yeah, that kind of...
I don't know. I mean, if France is not in the news this week, it's in tomorrow. I mean,
yeah.
It's like there's something happening
every week.
and it's really sad because they're just it's like a war zone almost.
They're getting cracked on. They're getting
You
cracked
never know.
So what is the government supposed to do? Like, what are you supposed to do? I mean, this is the least non-confrontational thing you can do to try to. I mean, it's like
I brought this up I've brought this up a lot on the show. There's no way that we can properly vet the migrants coming in, and we know that the majority of migrants that are coming in aren't even from the places that are war-torn right now that we were trying to save. We know that for a fact. So what is going on? I mean, this was already a bad idea from the start. I said it a long time ago. This whole having these immigrants come in and us not knowing literally anything about them was a bad idea. And now we're just kind of seeing the aftermath of it being a bad idea. Germany, France, and Belgium are all just getting crapped on, and they were the biggest advocates for it. They're like, come on in, everybody. Yeah. Our doors are open, everyone in. We're going to be the example and spread love. And now it's insane. It's insane. So
yeah.
What do you think about this, Ryan? I heard that you ventured deep into
Buzzfeed.
into Buzzfeed.
To debate about this.
And it was the same article, or not same article, but same topic, right?
Same topic. Yes, this is where I first heard about it.
Yeah.
And basically what I said was that it's absolutely no surprise that this is happening. And I don't blame the French at all for doing this, because I mean they're getting bombarded right now by Muslim, and yes, ISIS is Muslims. They're getting crapped on by Muslim terrorists.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure that was responded to very well.
Oh yes, it was great. The next thing that's coming is it's going to be like a witch hunt on these Muslims if terrorists keep attacking. It's
either going to be a witch hunt,
all of the Muslims and send them home or something, because they're not going to be able to keep up with all.
I mean, I was telling y'all this earlier today that the French police tried to go into a Muslim town and they just started rioting, and the police left because the people were just. They were not having it. I saw that there was just like one cop car that came in, and everyone was like on top of the cop car, kicking the windows in and stuff like that. The guy couldn't do anything about it. He left. By the way, this isn't like an actual story, but this is something that I was reminded of, that I heard about. You know that Black Lives Matter is in the UK, and they were chanting "Heads up, don't shoot." Hands up, sorry, I said heads up, didn't I? Hands up, don't shoot. And the UK has had like around 20 shootings from police in around like 20 years. That's how many they've had.
Wow.
And they're chanting hands up, don't shoot. Police don't even carry guns. They don't carry guns in the UK.
Wow.
They don't even know what hands up, don't shoot means. I just wanted to say that because it was interesting. I just found that to be interesting to me.
Gosh.
So how did BuzzFeed respond to you, Ryan?
Well, all of the BuzzFeed followers were so...
reasonable.
Yeah, that's the word I'd use. No, this one girl who I won't say her name because I'm not going to be that disrespectful. You know, I don't want our one listener to go witch hunt.
Yeah,
this
we
girl.
have power in being like, all right, attack them, and the one person's like, I hope you die.
We'll just call her
Abby.
Femina.
Oh, okay, Femina. Okay.
So basically, I had like 6 responses before her, but she's the most consistent. She was the most consistent responder. So the first thing, you know, I said all that about, you know, a witch hunt's probably coming at some point, because France just can't take any more chances. And I got a lot of responses saying that, you know, Muslims have done less terrorist attacks than Christians and all that kind of thing. And I was like, well, where are you getting that from? And then Femina comes on the scene posting a video saying 10 of the worst terror attacks. And I didn't see the whole thing because I was trying to respond to somebody else. But I clicked on it later, and it says 10 of the worst terror attacks by extreme Christians and far-right men. So that proved absolutely nothing, because she just said those are the 10 worst attacks of that group, not of all time. So obviously that was bullcrap. It was a bullcrap argument from the start.
We don't even know how many people Muslim terrorists have killed.
No.
With worldwide jihad. I mean, we have no idea. We know it just we just know it ranges in like the millions.
Well, we only know the ones that we know.
Yeah.
Like the ones that are reported, the ones that are the biggest, and the ones that
I mean, no one reports on the bombings that are happening in Iraq and Iran now by ISIS killing other
daily.
Muslims.
It almost happens at a daily basis. Car bombs or you know, on the side of the road, or their own people.
Yeah.
You know, so
because they're like, you aren't Muslim enough.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's pretty much what's going on. I already said this in the last video. I always give him a shameless plug because I like him so much. But Black Pigeon Speaks made a video talking about ISIS being the most fundamental Muslims there are. They're the ones going by the letter.
That's what I've always said.
And the people who they are killing, who are also Muslims, are the ones that are, in quotations, moderate.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
I said that in here, and of course people got triggered all over the place, being like, that's not true. That's not true at all. And then, of course, when I posted some articles that showed that it was true.
Well, you just look at the world now. I mean, you know it's true based on the repercussions we're having right now.
I know.
I mean,
just go.
There are 2 types.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, it's
that's what's happening. Luckily, by the way, this episode doesn't have too many serious stories. I'm glad that we can be less serious today.
Yeah.
There is one that is serious, but it's only one. Usually we have like 3. So, anyways, the BuzzFeed people, they
Femina on here was trying to claim all sorts of crazy stuff, like that the Bible has more passages of killing people and God instructing people to kill people than the Quran, which is just a blatant lie. So let's see here. Trying to find some good ones to go on.
Well, the Quran is open-ended with their verses on violence.
I mean, it's crazy. Okay, so I mean, it's all about context, and both literatures and these are both historical texts.
Yes.
They all have violent stuff in them. Now it's all about where and who's speaking, and where it is in what scripture and what chapter, and why and who it's happening. So of course you can say there's violence in the Bible, there's violence in the Quran, but where it happens is the critical. And
is it open-ended?
Correct.
In the Quran, a lot of the times when they're speaking in violence, especially near the end of it, it's open-ended. They're saying, keep doing this.
Yeah.
Not,
exactly. So even in the Bible,
some
people will bring up, the homosexual thing. Something about,
killing homosexuals.
Or they'll bring up Sodom and Gomorrah. God instructed that, and then fire and brimstone literally destroyed the whole city. Now why would you follow a God who destroys and kills people? And why would you do that? But in the context of the whole
Story,
thing, where was it taking place? This is in the Old Testament, where we didn't have, Christ didn't come on the scene. And
not
all
to
that
mention
stuff,
that, but the people
it's
that
like,
God often killed were very evil people anyway. Human sacrifices.
And God can't deal with
worshiping
sins, so the only way He can
giants.
is to annihilate or you obey Him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and then that's at His own character. But we won't get into
that
theology, but it's
that goes into another topic of what I always have a problem with when people want to debate this. It's like, well, with other people, morality is subjective. When you're a part of a religion, your morality is objective. You have something that says that's the standard of it. So I hate when people say, well, how can a loving God, well, how do you know what a loving God is? That's just your interpretation of a loving God. You're saying if you were God, you would do that. Okay, well, if we believe in what is God and what's not, and sorry about that was my computer. But if you believe there is no God or whatever, then that's just your interpretation of love and compassion. That isn't objective, that's subjective. You can say this is loving and someone else can say no, that isn't loving. This is loving.
There's no standard. I mean, of course, you could have your own
So
definition.
you can't say whether it's a loving God or not. You have no moral basis on it. You just go, oh, well, this is the popular opinion. Okay, well, the popular opinion isn't always right. As we know from American history when we used to have slaves. But anyways.
But I mean, the bottom line, too, in all of these things, it's all about context. We take things so out of proportion.
Yeah.
We don't even look at it where it is.
Yeah.
And then analyze it there. And then we can actually have a debate about these
that's
things.
I think that's why a lot of
thing.
people are against Islam, is they have read it and read in context and they see what it is.
And if you see the meaning in context, then it might mean a certain thing that you might not want it to mean. But it's alarming
to people. It's not that we're saying all Muslims are terrorists. I hate doing the hashtag not all, but
it's just with any book. Any book you read paragraph by paragraph. You don't read one sentence and say this is exactly what it means.
There was one guy who was commenting about Jesus a long time ago, like a few months ago, and he was like, if you believe the Bible's literal, that means everything Jesus said was literal, so he means that you should kill your child if they disobey you and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude, parables are not. They're
meant to. They're
literal.
Meant to.
Okay, it isn't a literal story. That's not how it works. And if that's the thing,
usually it's an analogy.
You would have people cutting their eyes out, Christians cutting their eyes out,
every time
or cutting
their
tongue off.
Or their
every
hand,
time they sin. Yeah, cutting off the hand.
Yeah. Or gouging out eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
pick and choose arguments, I guess.
It's all about context. All about it.
It's the context. So the Buzzfeed people, they jumped on you, they attacked you.
They were like full force piggybacking off of each other's arguments so that they could sound unified.
Did you have anybody on your side?
One girl posted at one point. She was like, I agree with you, Ryan. And I was like, yeah. And then right after that, there was like 3 more comments that were like, you're a hater and you need to die. Stop hating them, but I hate you. Anyway.
Was that the literal context, Ryan, or not?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm surprised.
They said you need to die?
Very hypocritical.
Surprised you still have an account. You didn't get kicked off?
Yeah,
wow.
You didn't get kicked off, Ryan?
For speaking your mind and just, going with your own thoughts. And
I did get kicked off, surprisingly.
Okay, so I heard from Sargon in one of his videos in his, I think, This Week in Stupid. I don't know if I told you this. This is just another tidbit that I wanted to talk about, is there is this feminist group, like Facebook group, that's in Oxford University, and apparently people have been like posting articles about them because they were talking about how like people were saying things that other feminists wouldn't agree with, and then they would get triggered, so then they had to make feminist moderators to delete comments that triggered other feminists. So now they don't know what they can say and can't say in the feminist group because they don't know what's going to trigger each other. So I sent in a application to try and join the closed group. Fingers crossed they let me in so we can get some good context out of this. I want to see what's going on in there. But anyways, our next story is just the Olympics in general. I was talking about this earlier. I saw an article and they were complaining about how women weren't being represented enough, like, in news stories of the Olympics. Now, I don't know about you guys, but literally every single story I have seen about the Olympics, besides Michael Phelps, has been about women.
Yep.
I said this already. I said gymnastics, women. Judo, women. Shooting, women. All those are women, okay? And those are like the three biggest ones that I've heard about. Yeah, swimming, women. Mm-hmm. Running, women. There was, I think it was, I don't remember what country it was. I think it's Uganda. That's what I think.
I don't remember which one it was, either.
But there was a runner that was in the women's side, and I forget what how long the distance was that she was doing and all that. But the moral of the story is that apparently she was beating her competition so bad that she lapped them. And then in swimming, you were telling me about this.
Yeah, Katie Ledecky, U.S. swimmer. Yeah, she was doing the 800 meter. I think it was freestyle, and 800 meters. I think, if I'm correct, is half a mile. So, in a pool, swimming half a mile, and she beat her competitors out of 8 people by like 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, she made it back to the wall, and the camera was like panned on her, and people were still not even at the wall yet.
Yeah, and then everyone's saying that the women's gymnastics team this year is like the greatest in history.
And I heard of that too. I heard that too, because like I was watching some of them, and I think the max score you can get is like a 16 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they were maybe a point off every single time.
like women, you have nothing to complain about now.
But then you got Michael Phelps.
Yeah, we have Michael Phelps, okay, but still, women have pretty much made history in this Olympics, okay?
It's amazing. These are amazing feats, man.
Yeah, nothing to complain about. Seriously, let's not make this a man and woman issue.
Let's just enjoy
enjoy winning, okay? Let's enjoy the Olympics.
I'm not watching them, though.
Oh, yeah, very unpatriotic of you.
I watch it because I like sports. So
I don't
really watch
I like
sports.
it. I like watching it because it's interesting. I like seeing the different sports.
But the one thing I do wish, I know it's on NBC and MSNBC, and the U.S. is highlighted more. I wish they would show a little more of the other countries.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this personally is like...
I just want to see who's making history, honestly.
Yeah. And
that's it.
Like, there was one thing... I
guess you can highlight more Americans, but at the same time, I just want to see who's making history. Like, I want to see that happen.
Or just, like, I think it was a medal ceremony for Phelps. I forget which medal out of the many he's won. It was gold, and they only, like, panned in on him. Like, they didn't pan on the second and third place winners. Like, I know it's okay.
The Sith Lord, Michael Phelps.
But it was, like, I think it was one, like, a guy from Japan, another guy, I think it was from Great Britain. But it's, like, there's no... I know it's U.S. television, too, and they have to focus on that, too. But it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's a small thing, but...
Either way, women, stop complaining. This Olympics has been only about you, pretty much. And Michael Phelps. Honorary woman.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, Michael Phelps is an honorary woman.
Hey, this might be his last Olympics, so...
I heard an article from Vice talking about how he could still keep going.
Well, yeah,
in the next Olympics.
he's...
They're like, technically
shape,
he still could be doing it.
He's 31, so usually when you hit 30 in the Olympics, you're old.
Yeah.
Like, real old, so...
But who knows? Maybe he'll come back and get a little more.
I think it's only one more week, too. I think it's only 2 weeks, the Olympics, so...
Yeah, and Rio's getting mad because they don't have food. That was another thing we were talking about, is Rio protesting because the Olympics came and they already spent the money on the World Cup, and they're like... we need food, we're poor.
It's crazy. They've been 2 years removed from the World Cup, and then they have to host the Olympics as well.
Yeah.
I don't remember how they vote. I think it's a committee, but man, how did they get 2 big events in such a short period of time?
This reminds me of the controversy with FIFA being in South Africa and them using slave labor to build the stadium. That was big, and now this is big, but I've noticed that no one's really talking about that.
No, not really.
They don't care. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, let's enjoy the Olympics, but people are starving to death over in Brazil.
It's sad.
Okay. That's why they have one of the most famous things they have is the favelas, which is a giant slum. It's sad, but it's true. I love Brazil, but
I would love to visit it.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite racing driver comes from Brazil, so obviously...
Senna.
Yeah, I love Brazil, but we still got to talk about this. Like, people are really mad about this. There's riots going on, stuff like that, because they don't have food. That's what's going on. They were even talking about, as I was saying earlier before we started this, was people, even like people who were visiting there, getting their food, it takes longer for them to get their food because there's such a long line of people getting food. Because they have a shortage of it.
It's not only Olympians, but it's the Olympians' families and people around the world coming to watch. So you gotta house, you gotta feed, you gotta do that. But if their own people from their country not even getting fed, then it's kind of
hypocritical.
It's sad.
Yeah, hard to do. So,
but Ryan, if you were to pick an Olympic sport to play in, what would you choose?
Double kayaking.
Yeah,
Sam and me were watching that.
Double kayaking?
Yeah, we were eating our pizza, we were watching double kayaking. It reminds me of when you go to a
Is that the one
park,
with the like the upstream or
downstream?
And it's
yeah.
it's kind of coming
and
at
you like go through
those gates? Yes, I saw that once.
Dude.
I turned it off.
It reminds me of going down the inner tubes at water parks down a slide, and you have the 2-man bobsled. That's what I want to do. I want to try that.
I saw some archery. But then
I didn't see any archery.
I saw a little bit.
It's always like running and gymnastics.
And I saw
all
some
the time.
badminton.
I didn't see badminton. I saw volleyball, women's volleyball. Uh-huh. Also, women's volleyball was doing good.
Well, they always do. That duo is really good.
Well, I mean, like a whole team. They had like a.
Oh, you're talking about not beach volleyball.
Yeah.
You're talking. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That they were doing good also when I was watching at least.
Yeah.
There's a lot of coverage of women.
The women in the group.
Yes, so please stop complaining about that. It's over. It's done. We've won. We have all the gold we could ever need. But what else are we talking about today? I'm getting lost off subject. Oh, I mean, is that the last thing we're talking about already?
We didn't have a lot.
Oh, okay. Corin Gaines, who I couldn't find for the longest
story
time.
Today.
And that is not a racist statement either.
No, it's not. Sorry.
So, Corin Gaines, I could not find her name for a really long time because I thought it was spelled with a C, not a K. All right. Nathaniel, do you want to preface this for us and read through the article?
Sure.
Because
so the title, this is off the Washington Post. The title of this article is Corin Gaines. This is the woman we've been talking about. It says Corin Gaines, cradling child in shotgun, is fatally shot by police. So 3 officers with the Baltimore County Police arrived at Corin Gaines' apartment around 9:20 on Monday to serve warrants to her, as well as a man who also resided there. The man was wanted on an assault charge, while Gaines, age 23, had an arrest warrant for failing to appear in court after a traffic violation in March. According to police, no one responded to 10 minutes of door knocking, even though they could hear several people inside. When officers obtained a key to the apartment, they found Gaines sitting on the floor. Her 5-year-old son was wrapped in one of her arms. In her other hand was a shotgun. Around 3 p.m., after several hours of negotiation, police say Gaines raised the gun at officers and told them that she would kill them if they did not leave. The officers opened fire. And I guess that's the police chief, Jim Johnson, said that perceiving not only her actions but the words she used, we discharged 1 round at her. In turn, she fired several rounds back at us. We fired again at her, striking and killing her. Tragically, in this circumstance, the child that was also in the dwelling was struck by a round.
Now, I'm pretty sure the child lived.
I'm almost hope so.
I'm almost positive that's what I heard. Well, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, the police said non-life-threatening injuries. Okay. But once again, Black Lives Matter gets behind something absolutely stupid. Mm-hmm. Okay, Black Lives.
And what was their first response to this? Like
the police are back at it again, killing our people out in the streets when they did nothing wrong.
So let's preface this again. The man was wanted on an assault charge.
Yes.
And had an arrest warrant for failing to appear in court after a traffic violation. That's Gaines in March. So it wasn't like the police officers had no reason to show up. And then they were there for 10 minutes, knocking out the door.
No one answering.
No one answering.
But hearing people talk.
And then when they finally get in, they see her 5-year-old son in her arms.
And a shotgun.
And she's armed. So, and she's...
We both.
She's ready to kill these guys.
That's what it said, yeah.
And she threatens to kill these guys. But no, the police officers are in the wrong.
Well, I found, which from Steven Crowder, this is where I saw videos, is there's previous video of her getting a traffic stop with no registration, and she's like, I have no license. I think later she gives the police a license. But the reason she doesn't have that is she says, I don't abide by those laws. I don't play by those laws.
And this was before this video.
Yes, this was before this happened. And then later she tells her kid, if the police try and get you out of the car, fight them.
And this is her 5-year-old.
So she incites her own 5-year-old son to violence while she threatens the officers repeatedly.
Saying that the police
And she just didn't get pulled over for no reason. Why did she get pulled over?
She had no registration.
No registration.
And she said that apparently she had no license either. I think she did provide it later, but at first she was like, oh no, I don't have a license.
And after all that crap, all these so-called racist cops still tried to let her get out of the car and go free before they towed the car, before arresting her.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Black Lives Matter has been trying to take down those videos. They've been trying to delete all mention of the videos.
Because, to my ears, police gave her multiple.
Oh yeah, they gave her multiple chances. Yeah,
it sounded like that, and they sounded very calm too. I mean,
get out of the car, And as we've said multiple times on this, we all know that there is some sort of police problem, and we've all encountered bad cops. But
again, context here.
Yeah, context. Black Lives Matter is a hysteria group. Okay, they are just spreading mass hysteria against the black community. And that's what it is. They're saying, "Oh, you're being hunted against. It's back, it's back when the Ku Klux Klan was here." That's not what's going on. That's definitely not what's going on. And you can tell that that's not going on. All you have to do is look into the context. It's nuanced.
And it's sad that, life had to be lost, but that's the police officer's job when they have to defend themselves, and they're called to do that. Especially when it's in confrontation like that. Yeah. So they have no choice at that point.
At least the child wasn't killed.
I know, yeah.
That is.
But now, what's going to happen to this child?
I think that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest story is this kid is growing up without a mother. We don't know. I don't know anything about the father. Not that I know of.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is or what he is. But if the mom has him, maybe the dad's worse. That's the thing. So it's a sad deal. I hope that the kids get adopted by a great and loving home.
Yeah.
Or something, please. That's really what I'm concerned about. From the videos I've seen of this lady,
it's a miracle that the child wasn't, killed. I mean,
the videos I've seen from this lady so far, she seems insane. So, honestly, it's just a terrible situation. It's a terrible situation, but she shouldn't have been so belligerent, and she shouldn't have been so ignorant. She was acting just so ignorant, talking about the propaganda that Black Lives Matter spews out. She was totally indoctrinated into what's pretty much become a cult of Black Lives Matter. And they really sound a cult when they start chanting, "We have nothing to lose but our chains," and et cetera, et cetera. So now everyone's saying the hashtag "say her name" and stuff like that. It's always hashtags.
Corin Gaines.
It's always the hashtags.
It's always
the
like
hashtags.
They do anything for anybody. Bring awareness to how stupid Black Lives Matter is.
It really is. I don't understand how they still get support. I really don't understand it at all.
Look, this girl says, "Don't let hashtag Corin Gaines story slip through media scrutiny. Say her name. We need answers. We have answers. We have video footage of all the crap that Corin Gaines did.
There's even
you don't
video
want
footage
answers.
Of
you want justification."
Well, we have video evidence also of the confrontation with, like, the SWAT. And that's what's on this Washington Post video. This article is more video evidence of what's going on.
Oh, this guy says she shouldn't have put her child in that situation. What situation? They were in their own home where they should have been.
Pointing a shotgun at police.
Yeah, using her as a human shield.
But we aren't going to talk about that. We aren't going to talk about using a human shield. Don't use, using your child as a human shield. We'll talk about that part later.
They were just in their own home.
Yeah, they were just in their own home.
Where they should have
They were
been.
like,
That's where
all
they
right,
belong.
baby, here's your shotgun. I mean, what's going on?
Better kill those cops.
Yeah, better attack those cops. They're trying to kill you. That's what you tell your 5-year-old son? Is that what you really tell your 5-year-old son?
Apparently.
That's what's happening right now. And people, this is why I tell people all the time I am very anti-Black Lives Matter. I'll never be pro-Black Lives Matter. I can never do it. It's totally 100% against my moral obligation. Mm-hmm. If it's racist to say all lives matter, then I guess I'm a racist because I think that everyone's lives matter. And they're like, oh, you're just belittling us. Well, no, you're just saying only your lives matter. And that's what I get from you guys. That's why you try and segregate people when you do your protests and you try and shut down anything that is against Black Lives Matter. But look what Black Lives Matter is making. You're making the Dallas police shooting. You're making this shooting right here. You're making all these protests that are saying killing cops. You want to kill cops.
Mm-hmm.
Pigs in the blanket, fry them like bacon, all that good stuff. What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them now? Those are some great chants that y'all have there. But I'm glad y'all are peaceful. I'm glad that y'all are peaceful, and this is, this is for equality. This is for justice. This is what Martin Luther King would have wanted. Am I right?
Apparently.
But anyways, yeah, this one was a little shorter today, but I don't mind it because at least we didn't have an overwhelming...
I think it was good, though.
Yeah, we didn't have an overwhelming amount of stories. So anyways... Thank you for tuning in once again, one fan or two, however many we have.
I have a good feeling. I think it's 2.
I think it's 2 at this point.
I mean,
maybe
welcome,
it'll be 1. Maybe we'll offend somebody today.
Welcome, second fan. We're glad you're here.
I'll link all of my new Buzzfeed friends to this video too.
Good.
And we'll have them listen in.
You can give a link to Famina's website.
Yeah, Famina's website. Once again, all the articles will be down below. We'll have all of that and all the links.
Yes.
So make sure you check that out as well. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.